All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, back in studio, joined as always by Randy. What's up, man?
How we doing?
Quick.
It's been a minute.
This is a big flare warning for everybody that's on the fence for Grow Summit. There's I think there's single digit tickets left, maybe 8, 9 tickets left. It's in 2 weeks. If you're in the Nashville area, if you can get to Nashville, this is an event you're not going to want to miss. We've got a great lineup. You've probably heard us talking about it quite a bit. At the end of the day, if you're a listener of this show, you should be in that room. I mean, that's the end of the day. I mean, if you're a gym owner looking to grow your business, the number one focus, if I was going to say, hey, what's the biggest takeaway at the Grow Summit? It is in the name. It's growth. Growth. What else do you want from your gym? You want growth, right? You want to grow your business. You want to systematize it. Hopefully, maybe remove some of the hours off of your plate. And it all goes into growth.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is for those that want to achieve more, those that want to push. I mean, you're listening to this episode. You're listening to this podcast for a reason. It's in the name of the episode or the name of the podcast. It's in the name of the event. It just makes sense. So
there's a common theme: growth.
Wow.
Growth. You're either growing or dying.
Or dying, right?
Decaying. So. All right, so that's the Growth Summit, guys. Be there. It's May 19th through 21st, fitprogrowthsummit.com. Okay, now let's get into this episode. The fortunes in the follow-up, and that's something that gets kind of overlooked a lot of times when gyms are looking for lead generation strategies, tactics, the silver bullet campaign. What's the image that's going to bring in all the people? What's the copy? What's the offer? All of that's great, but at the end of the day, if you're not following up with your leads and prospects, you're missing the boat.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so let me throw some numbers behind how important follow-up is in regards to at least online sales and marketing. So if you think about a common website, funnel, e-commerce platform, any of those things that you go to purchase something, maybe it's purchase for the Growth Summit, maybe it's a purchase for a supplement. There's typical that you would go to a landing page, you would opt in, then you would move into the order form, and that's where they're asking you for payment. Now, the industry average for abandoned carts 85%. What does that mean? It means that out of every 100 people that hit that page, 85 of them are going to leave without making a payment.
Yeah. All online purchases is over 80%.
Yeah. Global e-commerce abandoned cart is 85%. And so the online retailers have figured this out. I mean, if you've ever started the process for a purchase and then you got a phone call or your kids came into the room and you ran out of the room, what happens in the next 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour? You're starting to get email follow-up to finish your purchase. We call that the abandoned cart sequence, and we've been using this for 5 or 6, 7 years now. When we first started ProFit, we were in the service of driving conversions for gyms. So we would generate the lead, we would generate the sale. And we knew this statistics early on. And so we built a robust follow-up abandoned cart sequence early on. And every so often we would go and review the data and be like, okay, so how many of these sales are coming from the abandoned cart sequence? And it was 35% of our sales were coming from abandoned cart sequences.
Yeah, think about that. Just leave that, that thought alone. I mean, if without that sequence in place, that is a ton of revenue that just never was collected. I mean, that's the term, leaving cash on the table. You know what I mean? These are people that are interested. They just needed one more ask type of thing, right? They needed that reminder. Or maybe something happened and they didn't have the information to get back. They haven't seen the ad. They couldn't get back to the landing page and order form or something. They closed the page by accident or something like that. But there's so many different reasons to have it in place that by not, I don't understand how businesses could even get by without one.
Okay, so let's define what the abandoned cart sequence is and how does it relate to your fitness facility. So an abandoned cart sequence would be that immediate follow-up that says, hey, you forgot something or you're not done yet, or hey, did you need, you haven't finished your purchase. And they would click a link and it would go back right to the order form. Now, in a good order form, it would already pre-populate all their information and they all just have to do is put their credit card in at that point, and it helps grease the sale, right?
Sure.
Now, when it comes to the fitness facilities and you're not doing the sales online, the sales are happening in person, It's a little different, but really at the end of the day, you gave somebody an offer, they opted in, but the next step in the sequence would be to book an appointment.
Correct.
Be it over the phone or in person. We're doing both now, and really the point is, hey, you're not done. Go ahead and click here to book an appointment to go to the next step. And a lot of gyms just completely blow this whole thing. And it blows my mind a little bit because they're paying so much to get the leads, and they maybe make one manual phone call. Maybe they type an email out manually, or even maybe they have an autoresponder that says, thank you, we'll get back to you, or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's no CTA or call to action for the next step, and they blow it. And there's so much money for you as a gym owner left on the table with that list of leads, and you're not even talking to them.
And there's something about that. I mean, whether it's just the assumption that, okay, this person's, on our website, they're on a landing page or whatever. If they're interested, they'll just do that, right? But life happens. All of these things come up, and we know just through the data that it's not 100%, right? So having those are crucial. What I love about it is there's so much value in knowing the strategy. So you explained, right? Like you could take that online purchase and move it offline, and the objective, like the strategy is the same, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to move that person to the next step.
Correct.
It just happens to be, instead of that purchase, it's the consultation, right? And there's different mediums that you could use. That's another thing. It's not just an email. I know in our systems we incorporate text message and voicemail broadcasts. Mm-hmm. And by changing that medium, like how cool, kind of creepy, but how cool is it, right, from the consumer side when you get a voicemail from someone and you check it and it was the person you were like, they took that online visit and then they took it offline. They made it real. They called me, or they shot me a text message. Like, we know the open rates on texts blow everything out of the water right now. Mm-hmm. And so we're watching. I would bet that our abandoned cart sequences are going up in effectiveness with the introduction of those, mediums as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't just count on one medium.
Correct.
It's like putting all we have a whole series on, that where I'm speaking about at the Growth Summit. It's like a pitfall is single medium vulnerability.
There you go.
And that could be email, but it could also mean, hey, I'm only marketing on Facebook.
Facebook, social, sure.
And so we say the fortune's in the follow-up. I'm going to add to that. I'm saying the fortune's in the prompt follow-up, because the faster you can respond to a new lead that has interest in your fitness programs, the better.
Well, statistically on that, our buddy Eric Russell, in the sales game of fitness, right? And he said that over 90% of the sale goes to the gym that reached back out to the lead first.
Yes.
So, call it 5 minutes, call it an hour and a half. That could be different in those situations, but the gym that reach out first, so increase the chances you're first.
Yes.
Gets that sale 90% of the time, over 90% of the time.
Yes, and I do know that statistic, and so think about that for a second. If you're thinking about that prospect that's in the market for a fitness solution, and maybe they're Googling it, maybe they see it on Facebook, but they're shopping. They're looking for a solution. They have a problem. They need a solution. They opt into your website. They opt into your competitor's website, and now it's a race. Like, who can respond back the fastest? And so there's tactics that we use and we've implemented in all of our gyms that we work with that help you be first. Number one, we can automate a call to the gym phone line that says, hey, you've got a new lead from a Facebook ad. Their name is Missy. Click to connect, or wait on the line to connect.
Yep.
With our vendor partner 97 Display, they have that built into every website opt-in that comes right to the phone of the gym. They click one and they're connecting right now. It's ringing the other person's phone.
Wild.
Like, how quick? Imagine if you're at your computer on your phone as a prospect and you opt in, and then like you sneeze, and next thing you know the phone's ringing. It's like, oh, well, hello there.
the person you were
just opting in for. And so we've built this out in automation. And while I am a huge fan of automation, if there was a sports team that was called Automation, I would be the face painted guy. I'd be the number one fan, because my whole business and career has been based on the fact that we can automate solutions and systematize things that we're doing in our gym that most likely a human would miss.
Correct.
And when I say most likely, I'm saying they will miss, because humans are humans, machines and systems are machines and systems. They don't forget. It's all programmed. So Think about that front desk girl that you're expecting to make the call. She's having a bad day. She blows it off. Next thing you know, you spent the money in marketing, but that lead never got followed up with. Case in point for automation. Bolt this system in, and you have a solution to no matter what the front desk person or your fitness director, your coaches are doing, and they're having a bad day. Maybe they came in sick today. Would you not call anybody today?
Right.
Have that system working for you in the background. And I mean, honestly, some of the booked out weeks for our CLA clients, it's mind blowing. Like, hey, I've got 26 appointments this week, and they didn't pick up the phone once.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. They didn't have to pick up the phone in those situations. But I want to be very clear. I want us to be clear. Automation doesn't have to remove the human element. It's not designed to remove the human element, entirely. It's designed to give you the best use of the face-to-face time, or your greatest, use of that human in those roles. Meaning, you can use automation to actually take it offline, right? So we can set up automation to remind the girl at the front desk that these are her tasks for the day. These are her follow-up calls for the day. These are the people that she needs to reach out for the day. So make her job simpler by using automation as well, or anybody, right, in those situations.
Automating the call is automating to human interaction.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and every one of those deliverables, or every one of those actions that we're hoping the client takes, leads them back to a face-to-face. Yeah, it's not like we're stringing them along to this digital business that we're no longer part of, right? It's the consultation. It's coming in for a gym membership to come work with us face-to-face.
And usually that's the knock on automation.
Correct. It's like, they think it's AI-like, right?
Well, no, they just like, hey, people are going to know it's automated. It's not authentic. It's not authentic. They're going to be like, hey, I want to deal with a human being. Well, correct. You're absolutely right. However, the automation that we've built is to push towards that person. And, listen, in the fitness space, it is a human-to-human interaction. It's that connection. It's that relationship. We're not, on e-commerce, you're selling T-shirts or widgets. Yeah, take that stuff 100% automated.
Sure.
But all of the systems that we put in, if you're wondering what this is, we call it our CLA, our Client Lifecycle Automation. We built this out on a platform where it's like it hits, basically it puts a net around your entire business and doesn't let anybody fall out. They're getting yes, the steel trap. It's they can't get out without saying no or opting out or make it, booking the appointment.
Sure. Sure. And that's the thing. I mean, we got to remember, like, they raised their hand, right? So you following up with these people and offering them what they asked for is not hounding these people. Nope. Every one of these options has the ability to stop the automation, just like any other way, right? And one thing further on that is it's not AI. It's not like the bots that we see in other realms, right? Like messenger bots and things like that. It is different than that. The automation is a way where, we custom write the email. I just don't have to hit send. You know what I mean? It's like whenever that email needs to be sent because it's appropriate for somebody to respond, like it's like a confirmation. You know what I mean? Like when you purchase something, you expect that confirmation letter. Why? Because that's the next step in the process. So if I'm going to opt in, or if I leave my information and the next step is something, that's what that piece of that automation is, right? We're guiding them down a path. It's not like we're trying to remove ourselves or like have this system do all the figuring out for us. It's just handling the bulk of the communication that somebody would be doing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the prospect appreciates it because they know the next step is now to book an appointment. I don't need to talk to anybody if I'm the prospect. Oh, cool. Next step, book an appointment. Cool. There's my calendar. That day works for me. Let me handle that. It's actually a benefit to the prospect more than anybody.
I was going to say, as a consumer, if that process isn't in place, 9 times out of 10, like, I don't want to pick up a phone and have to go schedule a call with somebody.
No way.
Like, that's ancient. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so this has just become the norm. And it's one of those things, like, if it's not in your business today, guys, it will be. You just have to decide, like, at what point.
Yeah,
you're like, the benefits are already there. Everybody else is doing it. Don't miss out on something basically because you just don't know enough about it.
Yeah, and don't end it at one call, and don't end it at one email, one text message. Run that out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Or use something like Keep, where you can have logic in place, where when somebody does take that action in books, they're no longer getting those pounded with emails. And that's maybe where a lot of the bad or negative kind of connotation around automation comes into play. Things like, some of the lower costs, free options, solutions with quote unquote automation, which really isn't. Just because you have an email broadcast system does not mean it's automation, guys. Let's be clear on that. Automation has to be automated. There has to be some logic throughout. But like you shouldn't be pounding and hounding, sending email after email after email. That's not the intention here. It's done deliberately, right? And that actually, I wanted to caveat from this because we didn't discuss it coming into the idea of this, but there's other nurtures that we use constantly that are just as valuable as the abandoned cart, like our retargeting ads, for example. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking globally, like regardless of whether it's the abandoned cart, retargeting, you have to think about what the consumer needs to hear in those positions, right? If we're trying to guide them towards a sale, what have we said to that person? What have we provided with them to help them understand what they're purchasing, become comfortable with that? If we're over here just pounding our schedule and the price point, and they don't know what it's like even working with us, we're never going to create that sale. So change, the conversation a little bit, right? Talk about both the needs of the individual as well as the services and the offerings and things like that throughout to make sure that you're kind of checking all of those boxes. Mm-hmm. Because that's, again, what we're trying to accomplish without somebody being there asking the questions. Let's touch on all of that. Yeah, and those people come to like. And
a great use for the retargeting side of that or even in the follow up is testimonials and solution based. Exactly. Like, hey, maybe they're thinking about this one thing, but here's a person, not you, but a customer saying, hey, I was in your position and this is what I did. And it's like, okay, well that answers my question. Let me go ahead and book the appointment now.
Exactly.
Because, to your point, if you're just talking about the appointment the whole time, they don't really know yet. They have questions in their head that aren't answered yet, and that's the reason they haven't clicked the button yet. They're just still thinking about it. So layering in the benefits, layering in solutions for them, testimonials, you can do all of that in Keep, guys.
Absolutely.
In our CLA. So
and our buddy Houston brought up at our Iron Circle event, he brought up like the whole thing about the review side, right? Like once I don't remember how we broke it down initially, but basically once somebody's at your website, they're no longer shopping fitness as a solution. They're shopping you as the fitness solution. So the testimonial should be more reviews, right? It's not about the results. Well, maybe about the results I got, but like how I got them working in your fitness facility. Mm-hmm. Not that fitness did this for me. And so that's an important thing to understand too in that nurture, because now there is a relationship formed already to some degree. You have to nurture it, right? Like continue to build upon that. And so
fortunes in the follow-up, guys. Boom. And really the big message, guys, the take-home message for today is don't stop with that one call or don't stop with just getting the leads today and never talking to those people again. Build out the solution. You're going to win. We said 85% of the people don't take the next action, be it a booked appointment or a purchase. And so put those solutions in place. You're going to win. I mean, period. It's just a fact, right? Even if one extra person took the action, you won.
And that's the biggest thing. Let's break it down just simply based on that. Like the cost to enter this arena is the value of one client a year. Like if this entire system gets you one client for your entire year, for the average cost of our training clients,
paid for itself.
The entire system's paid for. So for every client that this system generates, without you actually having to go do that, those are all things that you paid for that you didn't have to go and reinvest in.
Would it be okay if I made an offer?
Would it be okay if you made an offer?
Made an offer for a solution?
Please give our friends and family a solution.
Guys, I've been thinking about this a lot. We do coaching, we do automation, we do all kinds of extra things, marketing solutions and things like that. I sat down the other day and I was talking to you. You were out of town, but I was like, hey, this is the solution people need.
Yeah.
And some of them only do the one piece or the second piece, but they don't ever do, like a lot of them do. The ones that do all of them, they're the big winners.
They win every time.
And so what I decided to do is like, hey, you know what? Let's make this a full-blown solution for a gym, be it systems, everything from internal, external sales processes and marketing and delivery systems. All of our coaching, all of our automation, all of our marketing expertise bundled into one $14,000 purchase into a package. I don't have a name for it yet, but let's call it Accelerator, right? It'll just be our Accelerator bundle. And if you decide, hey, you know what, I need all these solutions and I want to win, we're going to guarantee you are going to return at least $60,000 in revenue on that $14,000 purchase at a minimum. And if you don't, we will work with you until you get that money. But I am very confident, all the gyms that we've done this with, it's well into the six figures. So, 60,000 is not going to be an issue. There are a few qualifications that we need to make sure that this is a good fit. But if you have interest in that, if you're willing to invest $14,000 to get a $60,000 return, and that makes sense to you, and you want all these solutions just done with you, done, bolted, like working hand in hand with us, then this is the offer I'm giving you guys, $14K. It includes all of our coaching, all of our automation, all of our marketing expertise bolted in, and we're going to get you on a path to a minimum of $60,000 in return. If that sounds like something you want, book a call, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call, period.
I love that. Yeah, that's the solution. It's like a business in a box. I
mean, if somebody said, hey, if you give me 14, I'm going to make sure you get 60 back minimum. I mean, regardless, obviously it's got to make sense for my business, and it has to make sense for my ethics. Like we're not going to do bait and switch and any of that stuff. It's truly the market. Like once we get to the marketing side of it, it's marketing your memberships that you sell every day. It's not a challenge. It's not a short-term program or any of that stuff. It is bringing people in that are signing up for an annual membership or a month-to-month, whatever you offer at your gym on day one. And that's what you want typically at the end of any of your marketing challenges. You want them to convert into
your membership.
Let's just do it on day one, okay? Let's cut to the chase. So if that's something you guys are interested in, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. We'll get on a call, we'll explain the whole thing to you, but it's a guarantee from me, $60K or more. I'm not happy with 60, but like, hey, at a minimum, you got twice your money back plus. Right? Four times your money back. Hey, I'm good at math. $1 in, $4.20 out, or whatever that math says. So, all right, guys, that's it for this episode. Lots going on, but hopefully that helped you out. Until next episode, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye. All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.